Yep. Okay, so go ahead and tell me your name, age, where you live, and marital status.
Okay. My name is Sarah Wallace. I'm 29 years old. I'm recently married and new to San Diego. My husband is in the military and we're down here for his work. So I'm looking for a part-time nanny position.
Okay, great. How many years experience do you have with children? And you can give any specifics about that.
Okay. I have a little brother and sister and I've been watching them ever since I was little. I started babysitting when I was 12 and then I went to school to get my teaching degree where I did student teaching with autistic children and special ed as well as elementary school. And then after that I went to school for early childhood education where I found a love for preschool teaching and I've been teaching for the past 5 years preschool age children.
Great. And how much experience do you have with infants?
I have been a nanny a few times with infants, including this past summer where I was a part-time nanny and helper to a family with a little girl who was 4 months, and I left that job when she was 7 months, as well as a previous nanny experience with an infant as well a few years back.
Okay, great. Now run me through a typical day, like activities you would do with a 6-month-old.
With a 6-month-old, I feel like it's never too early to start learning, and every opportunity is a learning opportunity. So I love reading to children. It's never too early to read. So reading, going on walks, utilizing the outdoors, exploring, talking about what we see, as well as fun music and movement games that it seems that 6-month-olds love and respond to music and games and fun, as well as keeping his routine normal at home, consistency that the family already has, nap time and snack time and lunch, whatever they usually do.
Okay, great. What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, my husband and I really try to be healthy as possible. We like the outdoors. We like to go camping and hiking, travel. Our family and friends are really important. We spend a lot of time with them, as well as cooking and baking these days.
Great. Okay. Do you have a car and a current driver's license?
I do have a car and I do have a current driver's license.
Great. And do you have a background check?
I do. I have a background check.
Okay.
Clean background check.
Good. CPR and first aid?
I do, yes. A child and infant.
Great. And your trust line, which means you've been fingerprinted and been through the process for California.
Yes.
Great. Tell me what you would do if a child was hurt or in an accident.
As a nanny, the number one thing is safety and making sure everything is okay. So in that case, depending on the particular incident, just take the steps to, number one, figure out what to do for that child, whether it be CPR, call 911, call the parents. I guess it all just depends, but...
Right, on the specific instance of hurt or level of hurt.
Right.
Okay.
So,
good.
Being in contact with the parents, absolutely, after dealing with this situation, would be number one.
Great. Are you comfortable, like if the mom is home in periods during the day, would you be able to occupy them so that the mom is able to be in the same environment, but you're still kind of just doing your thing with the child?
Absolutely, and that would, we would have to have open, good communication in that situation, understanding what the parent or the family is wanting from me, and then also, trusting me enough to, do what I do best is teach and be with children, and, I know it's a hard dynamic being at somebody's house in the very beginning, but just hopefully building that trust. So to answer your question, yes, I would be comfortable.
Cool, great. Yeah. And tell me about some past nanny jobs that you've had. Maybe off the top of your head, what are some things that you really liked? And maybe are there any things that you would like to see be different?
Okay, let's see. This past summer I was in an interesting situation where the mom was coming home from rehab and they were going through a divorce. So there were some situations where there was not good communication between the parents. I would see the dad sometimes and the mom sometimes, and sometimes what they were asking were different things. So in that situation, just communication and being open and honest with me about everything that's going on would be ideal. And also, you can tell through the children what's going on at home through their behavior. And sometimes this little girl that I was watching, she would, be throwing a tantrum or be really upset. And, later the family would tell me, well, it is because this happened last night, or she's going through this. And just knowing kind of what's going on would have really helped me in that situation. So we could have talked about that and addressed that situation with the little girl. And I know it's not always easy to tell, a nanny or a stranger that's going on. It does make it a little bit easier for me to do my job. But on the plus side for that, we had, they would set me up for success at home and, tell me, these, you can go to gymnastics today or the park today, or, these are some ideas, and kind of, give me some ideas with the kids and what they were liking and what they were interested in. And so I would, do whatever they wanted to do that day to make them happy. And they would, leave food and say, this is, some of the things that they're wanting to eat, and kind of set me up for success in that way. So, ultimately just an open communication would be the best situation.
What are some ways you would keep the family updated throughout the day on things that went on? Like things you did with the child that day. What are some ways you've done in the past, and what are some ideas are you open to?
I'm open to all ideas for that. If the mom is gone and she was wanting an update via text message or just a phone call, every once in a while to say, what we're doing, that's great. I always tell families I have my cell phone on me in case of emergency, in case you're wanting to contact me. Feel free to call and ask how you're doing, and I'm very open to that. And some families have told me, call me when you get home, or call me when the kid is sleeping, or call me if you do have a problem. So again, probably just good communication on that. And I am open to whatever families are wanting. And of course, at the end of the day, telling them what we did and what's working, what's not working, what made them happy that day. And then as well as when I get there in the morning, what kind of the same brief,
Great. Why do you like working with children?
I've always loved working with children, and I think it, from when the time they're born till 5 years old, it's the most important time in our lives. It really is a time for building self-esteem and for socialization, and really building the foundation for a healthy learning environment for the rest of their lives. It's an impressionable time, and they're growing so much, and it's so fun to see those learning opportunities and take them and talk and communicate and have fun.